welcome to my 2024 Stitching Wrapped, where I will share how much stitching I did this year and kind of some fun stats about that. But if you're new here, hi, I'm Olga and, oh, my nose is itchy. Hi, I'm Olga and I make sewing content that is usually vintage inspired and sometimes a little bit nerdy. How much stitching did I do in 2024? I managed a whopping 43 projects. This only includes projects that I did from scratch. It does not include projects that were like mending and things like that. So what I would refer to as stitching is sewing, crochet, knitting, English paper piecing, and embroidery. A little visualization of what my project looked like throughout the months of 2024. I definitely peaked in April with 6 projects, and then my lowest points were December and September with only 2 projects per month. But I feel like my average is probably I would say like around 4, which is pretty typical. That would be 1 project a week. As for project types, the one I did the most was definitely tops, which kind of surprised me. And then my next biggest category was dresses. Not really a surprise. And then everything else I think is pretty balanced. Then moving on to patterns. The 2 most common patterns I used were from Big 4 companies and self-drafted things. I think the self-drafted one kind of surprised me a little bit. And then the next one was books. And in books, I'm including all of my modular pattern books that I have. As for the origin of my materials, I feel like this is a very good indicator. And I think it really reflects what I did this year, or like last year, I guess, which is where I was trying to tame my stash and use stuff that I already had as much as possible. And these other 2 are things that brands sent to me. It was like a brand deal or PR or whatever. As for the craft type, I think this surprises no one. I did mostly sewing projects. It does make sense that these kind of slower types of stitching I would have less projects of, because obviously they take longer, so I would have less time to do them. And that would mean that I make less of them in the year. As for fabric type, and I feel like this is not going to surprise anyone who watches my videos, but I mostly used woven fabrics, and then I did a little bit of knits this year. I'm trying to not be scared of knits anymore. And the NA is non-applicable, which is basically for projects where I used yarn or whatever. I didn't use fabric, so doesn't apply because there is no fabric type for this project. Cosplay. This is something I wanted to do more of because I think it is really, really fun. The cosplay I refer to, if you're new here, is that I don't actually make exact copies of what the characters wear. I make inspired subtle cosplay, so like more like bounding, where I will take inspiration from the character, whether it be colors or shapes or like maybe some design aspects, and then I'll create an outfit that is wearable to me in my everyday life, but that is inspired by that character. So this year I did about 23% of cosplay. While that number is a high and I like that, I think it needs to be higher, or I would like it to be higher, because I think those are the projects that I have the most fun in. And last but not least, am I a selfish stitcher? Yes, I am. I only made 1 project that wasn't for me, and that was the shirt I made for my partner. I mostly made stuff for me. I mend my partner's clothes a lot whenever he asks me, so if he gets something new, I will, shorten cuffs, I will shorten legs, I will change buttons, I will change zippers, sew up socks, do mend all of his clothes whenever he needs me to. But making brand new clothes for other people is not something I do very often anymore. I used to do it more. I can close this now. But it's kind of hard to do for a few different reasons. Sometimes because people don't really appreciate it very much, and then they don't value how much work you put into it. Other times it's because even if I do want to make them things, most of my friends don't live close to me. So in order for them to try things on, or if it's a sewing project and it's something that needs to be fitted a few times, it's really hard to do that because we live quite far away. So I will make projects for some people sometimes, but it's not something I do super often. And this year I really wanted to just make things for me. That was my 2024 in stitching terms. I did really enjoy most of the things I made, and I definitely have gleaned a lot of information from making this silly little video. I just wanted to make a little presentation for you and get dirty with spreadsheets. And the fun thing is that next year we can then compare with things I did this year. So this was my first full year of content creation. 2024 was my first year really diligently keeping track of things and starting this spreadsheet. and then I will keep doing it so that as the years go on, we can look back and compare like not only what I was doing during that year, but also how that compares to the past. And I can have like a really clear view of my work in like data, I guess, which is cool. I don't really do resolutions, but the two things I think I want to do more of in the new year are probably do a bit more like fun cosplay, like themed outfits, and mix it up a little bit more. Don't just do sewing, do a little bit of other things as well. I actually am really excited to see what the new year brings. I have some hopefully exciting things coming. I hope you enjoyed the video and being nerdy with me. I just wanted to make a chill video to get the year started. That's it. I've rambled on for long enough. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week with a sewing project. Yeah, bye.